G'day there viewers, and welcome to Chapter 6, Osborne Books, Processing Supplier Payments. Our objectives for today: we're going to look at financial documents for purchase of goods. We're going to look at invoice, credit note, delivery note, goods received note, checking. Then we're going to look at checking documents and returning goods and credit notes. So, a quote we've already seen in the previous chapters. Today we're going to be looking at purchase order, delivery note, invoice, credit note, and this is the part that we're looking at today. Electronic data exchange. Okay, electronic data exchange is commonly used by supermarkets, and it's a form of electronically transferring documents. So any form of electronic transferring of documents, normally it's done by a portal. Normally you log onto a portal and then you can exchange the documents and then download them, your invoices or whatever. So yeah, it's a way of transferring documents that are electronic rather than physical, because obviously going through the post, snail mail is not very much used anymore. E-commerce. Sales and forms that can be raised electronically and made over the internet. So it's basically all the business that is done over the internet, sales, Amazon, obviously you buy and sell stuff over the internet. Any company that operates over the internet is called e-commerce, any type of commerce that takes over the internet. Purchase documents is purchase order, delivery note, goods received note, a purchase invoice. That's what a purchase order looks like. So the most important thing here, remember, is the purchase order number that you send to the seller. The seller then quotes this on the invoice that they send back to you. Then you know that's a legitimate order and that it's not something that someone just raised and sent to you. Fictitious company. Features of a supplier invoice. This is a delivery note. So delivery note will come with the actual goods that are sent, and it tells you, so whoever was in the warehouse that picked it, obviously they'll tick or cross it, and then they'll send you the delivery note, and then you can see what's on it and what's not. So this is an example of a delivery note. Okay, goods received note. This is like something that you haven't seen before, but what is a goods received note? A goods received note is something that is used internally by the buyer and is used for checking and payment or authorization purposes. Delivery note can be checked and authorized too. So a delivery note is kind of an extra thing that companies can use rather than a delivery note. And the reason that they do this is because the person raising the purchases is often not the same person that checks. Like sometimes when the goods arrive, it will be the people in the warehouse that obviously check the goods. Now if they're the ones that are checking the goods, how do they know what has been raised or whatever by the buyer, by the purchase order? Goods payable clerk. Who knows what they've done? So the way that the people in the warehouse can tell is if they receive a goods received note, then they can check against the goods received note and then make any amendments or whatever they'd like on that goods received note. Checking. So it's important to check and or the goods received note or the delivery note should be checked against, and any items that are damaged or missing noted. Goods received note and should be checked against the original order. If there's anything missing, obviously then we'll need to pick up on that. And when the invoice finally arrives, ensure that the correct amounts and items are paid for. Now obviously if they're not, then a credit note would need to be issued. Credit note is the opposite of an invoice, remember. Now obviously you can't just delete the invoice and things like that because they're needed for audit purposes. So a credit note will have to be sent to amend an order. Okay, thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next lesson.